There's a little small patch of garlic from an old bed. Added the rest of it around that original small little meter by 3 meter bed. There was another one here on this walnut that I sacked for the material and for access, and then so I piled up some more crap here. Bigger stuff. I don't, as you know, compost, but this is my compost pile. Sticks, stuff from the flower shop too, a little bit. My own stuff from the house. For now, if I'm not building an area, if I'm building an area, I just throw it right in. Until we get the chickens, it goes in there. I'll put some horse manure on top of it. And that area, since it was biologically charged, having been a compost pile for manure pile for, I don't know, 6 or 8 months, I just covered it with some chips to save the biota in there. Here's my stash of wood chips, bagged wood chips. We're out. That's I used them all up here and there. Used up the pile we chipped and blew directly onto the potato field here. Taters started to come up, some of them here, and then we had a second last frost and killed them off. So I'm assuming I followed one down that was at least 12 inches long. Leader, whatever you call it. So should be enough energy in the potatoes to shoot back another. Most of them hadn't even come up yet, so we're still hopeful we don't have to deal with this mess. It's just basically straw. I put some good manure down on the bottom, threw some potatoes down, and then threw 18 inches of straw and hay. You know, not very good manure content, soil building material, but good if you got time. But it would just be you couldn't dig in it. It's just like a stringy mess. And not having manure on top to leach down into that, it hasn't turned into dirt quite as quickly as some of these other areas where you put the same stuff on the bottom, on top of the cardboard if you have it, and then good manure on top, and it kind of leaches down, and love the work, gives a place for the worms to come up from below. Nice area. They just kind of have a drip feed constantly coming, and then the worms that I import with the manure, they might go down into that or whatever it is, whatever. And that I was surprised. In 3-4 months turned into soil. So, but this area, we're hopeful those potatoes will come up. They weren't very good potatoes anyway. They just potatoes on a roadside stand. So I don't know, whatever. If they come up early, we could harvest them early, sell them a little bit of a premium maybe, get rid of them, and then plant good potatoes and get a second crop, and then want to harvest them in September, October, whatever, 1st of October, plant again. That'll be our potato bed. This area is just a turnaround area here. Little pile of stuff in the middle. There's a walnut there by the gray stake. This will be chicken pasture for now. Not very good. Threw some oats down. Rotten old oats. I don't know if they'll ever come up or not. Here we are heading into the back 40. Some garbage from our other project. Maybe just take a quick side trip. This is what I'm imagining as my gateway. Have to ask for access and get in here and start chopping this up. Dennis can get in here, but he can't get through. There's the top of the root cellar. So that's, yeah, I got some some stuff from other people. They were happy to give it to me. That'll all. I'll just walk around, pick up garbage, jump up and down on these piles. They're lower you can get them, closer to the ground you can get them. The wetter they get, the faster it will rot. But Dennis will chew that all up. So there's the back 40. Not a lot to report yet on the back 40. I saw a root here. That's my left hand. I'm strong enough. Oh, that one's taken. That one's good. Oh, where's this stupid camera? There we go. This is my willow. Yeah, I don't know. We just shoved that in there about a month ago, so it hasn't rooted yet, obviously. So that'll be the willow. There's some stuff I put in here too. This is here's those trees that are all gonna die, except for that one and that one. Everyone was heavily damaged. Some of them completely what do you call it? Ring girdled. Some of them, all the roots were eaten. Just kind of a mess. I got some what was it? Horseradish going in here. I just got some little, from Bulgaria. I'm gonna move them up on the hill when they grow. But, just clean this area up. In here, but this is another little Bulgarian purchase. This is I can't just tell you the name exactly. It's like a lettuce. Apparently it's a perennial lettuce. It's a ground cover. Apparently it doesn't need a lot of water. Can survive in, a little bit of soil. A little bit of soil is what I'm imagining. Doesn't need constant wet. So we're gonna plant get a good bed of it here. I'd love to do the front rather than having to cut the grass, but that'll be much later. It's for the top of the root cellar. It's just so you walk by, you can have a little taste of lettuce, or if you're walking to the house, you can take some into green all winter too. But it's like you can see, I don't know if you saw it, but it's just rubber sheet, pretty thick, good rubber on top there. I'll get a little bit of soil, and then we'll plant that in there to grow on top of the root cellar. And that's where, this is an area I put in, I got what, you could only buy, the minimum you could buy was 27. I got 27, blocking 14. Nice big, bigger than my thumb. Comprey, I'll get it out of there as soon as I can. It'll take over all this, the way these guys plow. If it ever gets over that edge, it'll completely choke out this entire village if I let it escape. So I'll put a little bit by each one of these, or whatever. Put it by those two trees. One little plant later in the year when I transplant them. And that'll be enough for this whole orchard here. And then the rest of it, there's a little bit of forest on the end of the Kinderford, we call it, which is a 6.79 meter by 123 meter project we're working on, just over in that direction. That is a reason why another additional reason, the gate, I can get from that gate of that property to Kinderford, it's like 300 meters or whatever. If I went out here, I have to go down the road, down a major highway, back up that street, and then, so it's almost 3 times as long distance to get there. So just getting that one little property saved us over the years. Just whether it's walking or driving or bicycling or pulling a cart or driving a horse or riding a horse or pulling a dog cart, whatever it is, it's going to save us a lot. So anyway, that Comprey, put a little bit over at the end of that and take it up to the hill, I guess. I don't want it, set it loose here and right in town. So these are fruit trees that were here. This is a plum. They're all plums. Everything's a plum here. But look how close they are together. We'll deal with them as they come along. There's some, what do you call that? Not sumac. I wish we had some sumac. You know, those stupid things, they just grow like crazy. And this is an old birch, I forget. It's an apple. It's an odd-shaped apple, a unique apple. I'm very happy to find out when we did the survey that it is on our property. I was under the impression that the property line was somewhere in here. So that was a great news. It's one of them there. I forget. I don't know how to pronounce it in Hungarian, but it sounds like a cross between pear and birch or something, but it's actually an apple. So, yeah, not again. But we got lots of little things here. I don't mind, you know what? I'm all for dwarf trees, but I don't mind some mature, or whatever they call it, standard size trees either. I think we can get some trees out of this old thing before she kicks over, and before I have serious problems with this neighbor. We have problems with these neighbors. Don't seem to understand that for 20 or 30 years they threw their crap here. As far as way over here, and thought they owned the place, and now they don't seem to understand that a survey is a survey. It's nothing personal. It's nothing. I've got nothing against. That's just where the property line is. Like, there's no argument. Should be no hard feelings. That's where it's always been, and that's where it is, and now we know where it is. So deal with it. Like, I don't understand. So this is the second back 40. This is a part of the problem here too. What caused the problem? This fella here, nice enough fella. I got all his corn stalks and chopped it up last year, but he got a survey. Apparently, the rumor has it, and he kicked. So he had stakes. Got a survey stake like this, and it's like a legitimate survey stake, right there, done by a surveyor, a proper survey stake, perfectly in line. Of course, any 2 points are a perfect line, with an old marker that was there. I don't know if you can see it. It's just the very end corner of our property. Well, not of our property, where somebody had done a survey years ago and marked it with something like this, a proper metal stake. See, now look, see, this is loose. They've been kicking this. It's just totally unreasonable. They kicked it this way to try and get another millimeter, centimeter of ground. Like, it's just ridiculous. I'm going to pound this down so it's that high. But anyway, so this fella got a survey, and apparently he wanted that little tree there, because if you take a straight line, which all these are, property line is maybe 3/4, 7 of the way to that box he's got there. That's a new thing. I don't know whether it's just a skid standing up or a compost pile or what's going on. But anyway, so he kicked this, paid for a survey, kicked the survey stakes away, and then built the fence on this old fella's property. And the old fella's blind, and they were talking about it, and he just kind of let him do it. So now everybody thinks that that's the property line because somebody built a fence in the wrong place. So that doesn't help. And as you can see, the next fella, who's a nice fella too, look, he's dug all that up, straight as using this fence as a guide. He thinks that that's all his property. That's also this old gentleman. We're working on him. He seems to be quite receptive to it. That'll be our actual meat, chicken pasture and dog field and all sorts of other things. We can get he's gone ahead and he's got some nice trees, some older trees. He planted a whole bunch of new ones. I wish he hadn't. He doesn't really know how to prune. He can't see. He had a guy do it.